I knew I was not gonna be a fan of this film. First of all, because I already knew, even beforehand, before the film came out. The thing is, though, because of the timeline this film takes place in, right? I already said to my brother, it's just a filler movie that contributes nothing to the timeline. Just the fact that this character gets her own solo movie. Really, that's what it really is. You know how animes or other episodes that has filler episodes that contributes nothing to the story. This is a prime example. This film contributed nothing to the story of the MCU, except, like I said, just for a character, just to get her own solo film. And we already know we already know what happens to this character. This character is already dead, which takes place, you see, at the post credits. To me, it's a completely pointless movie. It's a filler movie. That's what it is. Black Widow, yeah. Even though all accounts it got delayed because of the whole pandemic thing, I know. But I just think I was not care for it. And my brother said a film like this would not work because only Black Widow carries as a supporting character in Avengers. So. But Black Widow, and the film didn't really do that well. I mean, it cost $200 million. I mean, all these other movies nowadays, they always have to cost $200 million. You know, even though it came close, like it made decent. It made, give credit, you know, due to the circumstances of everything. You know, made about $180 million domestically, worldwide $370 million. But the thing is, though, technically overall total though could have had to break even in order to break even, maybe make at least 400 or 500 though. It didn't do it. And to me, I think that the Suicide Squad is much better than this. Yeah, I enjoyed the Suicide Squad. I always think about going for Marvel. No, DC. I've been enjoying recently. I like Shazam. I like Joker, and I like the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad that came out this year. Suicide Squad is much better than this. Because at least the Suicide Squad had much better characters, like King Shark, Idris Elba's Bloodsport, the Ratcatcher, the girl who plays Ratcatcher, and how I even admitted, I even give a little pass, I even give John Cena a pass for that film. I know, I still can't believe I had to admit that. Here, no, I don't care about any of these characters. Any of the supporting characters, I didn't care about anybody. I mean, Scarlett Johansson. Okay, if I want to go through this, it's a flashback taking place in 1995 when Black Widow Natasha was a child with her younger sister, and it's a fake family. The would-be parents would be played by David Harbour from the show Stranger Things, and he was the help. And even I know I haven't seen Stranger Things, but he played Hellboy, the 2019 Hellboy, right? That film sucked, and to me, he sucked in that film too. He was not Ron Perlman. Here, no, as Red Guardian, the Russian Captain America. Rachel Weisz, I like her as an actress, especially starting from the Mummy movies, the first two. Okay, Rachel Weisz, okay, I like her. But to me, it isn't. I don't think she's not better either than David Harbour. But in 1995, they're a fake family, right? Because they're hiding, whatever, and they had to get ready to go. And one thing that I thought, hey, want to hear one positive I could say? I was surprised because as they're going on their car ride to the airport, right? They're listening. Which surprised me. They're listening to Don McLean's American Pie. A song I enjoy. Bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And they're singing along to it. That was a surprise for me. I did not see that we were gonna play Don McLean's American Pie in there. Okay, because I like that song. But then they void capture because since David Harbour, he has strength because he also was given the super soldier serum. I know in the comics he's a Russian version of Captain America. I know that, But it's supposed to play off in this universe that Captain America was the only one who had the super soldier. Well, if you count Bucky, and even we see it in the Winter Civil War, there were other ones though, but then Zemo killed them. But it was led that Captain America was the only super soldier, right? But anyway, I'm just nitpicking on that though. But okay, they get away because they're running away from Shield. They run away. They get on the plane and they fly all the way to Cuba which is weird because it takes where they were living at was in Ohio, and this type of plane they're in doesn't seem like it would carry them that far, all the way across the states and into and all the way across the most of the Gulf and then into Cuba. They would have to make a couple stops, right, in a plane like that. But anyway, they get to Cuba and they meet with Ray Winstone. You know, the guy who played Mac from the 4th Indiana Jones film, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Jonesy! Hi, Mac. Yeah, that's Ray Winstone. He's the main villain in this. And I don't mind Ray Winstone. I liked him in the 4th Indiana Jones film. He was also in Fool's Gold. He's been in a couple of other movies. He's the main bad guy. He's the guy who runs the Red Room. Which is basically that's where Natasha got her training from. And this is what makes David Harbour unlikable. When they get there, he basically gives the two kids, Natasha and the younger sister, to them. You're going to be trained to be killers, basically. I'm like, wow. Even though you're just pretending to be the dad, but still, that makes you a deadbeat dad, and just basically gives them to these complete strangers to train them to be killers, assassins. So that's what makes David Harbour unlikable. To me, it does. Okay, there you go. You're trained to be assassins. Even though like Natasha had a little bit of training with languages, speaking in a different language, though, but still. And then the credits are going, which the end credits I thought was kind of interesting because another song that I was surprised to hear in this was the song "It Smells Like Teen Spirit." It was like, which I was like, wait, is this a song that I heard that was playing in the trailer for The Gallows? Yeah, it was. That's what I thought it was. That was my reaction. Like, wait a minute, this is a song that I heard playing in the trailer for The Gallows. Though that was a bad movie though. But wait, I did not mind that was playing in the trailer for The Gallows. Hello, hello. Yeah. Shitty film, The Gallows, though, but that song was in the trailer. It was like, oh, great, another song that I was surprised to hear in this. And the way the open credits are going, how it's like sort of like documentary footage with Ray Winstone and everyone else training to become the Black Widows and all that. That was kind of a darker tone for this kind of opening credits with that song playing. That was kind of an interesting way, but it's a Disney movie. It has to be after the credits goes back to being a lighter tone. So actually, I wouldn't mind this being sort of like a darker way of like this movie, but it's Disney, so they can't do anything dark. And then after that, it takes place directly after Civil War, after when Natasha got away, afterwards. William Hurt is in this, but he's only in for like 2 minutes as Ross. He's only when he's talking to her in the beginning, but finally she's at a different location, and you see him at the end. They're driving to arrest her at the end. That's it. That's which I thought in the first teaser, he was like standing there, like looked like during the aftermath battle of the end and the ending. He was standing there with all the men around him. Where is that in the movie? It is like that takes place in the end of the movie, all the aftermath when the thing comes down. Because you see him like standing there where there's fire around, like when everything collapsed. But where was that scene though? I don't know. So then this is supposed to take place because she needs to confront the things that were in her past. Then we see a girl, which now the girl's grown up. It's the younger sister, which that's the same girl who was in Midsummer. Florence, how her last name was pronounced. I was like, oh great, this is the girl that was from Midsummer, the one who went crazy at the end and smiling. Guess yeah, she's not a crazy person. That fuck that movie. That movie is an overrated piece of garbage movie. And if I would review the October, I'll gladly do that because that's an overrated movie. Same with Hereditary. Yeah, but she was a lead in that movie, Midsummer, which that sucked, and she's in this as well. Maybe I could say her performance was much better than in Midsummer, to be fair, because she wasn't looking all dopey and all looked like she was all drugged up. So, but still, she was brainwashed. But there was this widow, this one person was carrying these red vials, these things that contain red dust, you could say, to break the mind control. Kills the girl, but then never before she makes her sniff the red dust. I think it's freaking cocaine. But she gets the brainwash, takes the vials, and runs away. What else? And all the fight scenes in this movie, I did not care for. Everything was just like a bland, typical, generic fight scene in this movie. But we've seen it all a dozen times before. I mean, with Black Widow and Natasha, she has this little safe house, like it's a trailer, and there's this guy who's been looking after it, and there's all this mail, which is kind of funny that it's quite funny that this is a safe house, but it's supposed to be a secret, right? So why is she receiving mail? And when she finds the mail, because they're about to throw it out, it contains the red vials. I'm like, so this is like top priority. Super stuff, right? You know, very important, but you send it through the freaking mail. I mean, doesn't the mail like check that stuff like when they're sending it stuff? I don't know. I thought that was kind of stupid. Why is it even just go? Just go with the freaking mail is unbelievable. That does remind of the Predator from 2018 when the lead guy sends the secret Predator mask, the helmet, and the weapon through the freaking mail to send to his mental son who has Asperger's or whatever that he can read the language in 10 seconds. He even sends that through the freaking mail. All this high tech stuff or secret stuff, formulas, whatever, it has to go through the freaking mail. Yeah, there you go. So I just had to turn the light here. It's getting dark now, so I had to turn the light. But anyway, after that, she's driving. Then a rocket hits her. Car flips over, and basically she gets out of the car. Basically, she's perfectly fine. Basically, not a scratch on her. I'm like, I know it's a comic book film. I know it's not supposed to be realistic, though. I know that. But the thing is, though, Black Widow, she's fully human. She has any superpowers or can withstand stuff like that. She would basically have to get her one way or another, right? All these other action sequences where she gets tossed around, whatever, and she basically comes off fine. Just gets up and just kind of like brushes it off like it was nothing. Or skipping ahead, when they're on the rooftop, when she falls down, she hits a couple things on her way down, and she gets hit to the floor, and then she just gets up and walks away like it was nothing. I mean, here's another comparison. John Wick, the end of John Wick 3, Parabellum. Way after when Ian McShane as Winston shoots Keanu Reeves and he falls off the roof of the Continental, the way he falls was much more brutal. Even though that's not supposed to be realistic either. I know how he can survive a fall like that. I know, but the thing is though, if he kind of fell the same way like she does. But the thing is though, the guy is badly beaten. The way he falls, he is mortally wounded. He's barely even alive when he hits the ground. And he has to be wielded away, carted to bring him forward to Lawrence Fishburne. See how badly his face is, his hand is, or the rest of his body is. John Wick is a great assassin, but he's human though. He's taken all kinds of beatings and all that stuff, right? But the way he falls, he's not getting up and walking away, just brushing off like it was nothing. But here, in this instance, after falling off a roof and all that stuff, she just Scarlett Johansson. She just gets away and walks off like it was nothing. She's not a superhuman. She's not a super soldier. She's just a mere human. Why do you think that, like, some people were mad, like, in Age of Ultron, she was the only one that got captured by Ultron because she was the only human. She's not the only superpowered person there. Age of Ultron is much better than this. I don't care what anybody says. People hate Age of Ultron since then. I don't care. Age of Ultron is much better than this. And what else? Then after that, the Taskmaster fights her a bit, and when she gets hit, she falls into the river. Ay vey. This character has taken a lot of beatings, but the thing is, she just keeps on just walks off like it's nothing. And then she goes to one thing. At least she goes to the house with the vials, meets her sister, bland fight, fist fight, whatever. And then they decide to break David Harbour out of this prison. And then they start making jokes like how famous he was, you know, how, the time we supposedly met Captain America, but even one of the prisoners saying, how could that be? He was frozen in ice. But hey, he was that popular enough to get his own action figure. I mean, this guy is a super soldier. He can escape at any time. He has super strength. I don't know why. He wants to choose to stay in prison, because after the beginning, right, in the opening credits, you know, they just send him to prison anyway. And Natasha and her sister, they break him out. It's just a boring fight. Cause an they cause an avalanche, really enough, and pretty much buries the whole prison. So basically, they not only bury the prisoners, but also they bury the guards as well. That probably are innocent, probably for all we know. So basically, they just killed a whole bunch of people, including guards. Great, it's a great superhero. She's not a superhero. She's a human. That's a great character for you. So yeah, they just basically bury this whole entire prison, including not only prisoners, but the guards too, and are probably buried in the snow, left to die now. That's really good. Yeah. So, then one thing leads to another. They go to Rachel Weisz. She has this thing to control pigs, and this is what kind of makes me not like Rachel Weisz, because she has this pig. She shows a pig trained to like basically hold its breath, and even though it's not breathing, it's literally ready to die. But then Rachel Weisz says, "But he had 10 seconds." I'm like, she was basically just going to let this pig die because he had 10 seconds more. That kind of makes me not like her character either. Basically for the amusement, just let this pig kill itself by holding its breath long enough. And they're supposed to have the dinner scene where they're supposed to be like this happy family, family reunited, right? They're fighting though, but this was not a real family. But the younger sister says it was funny to me. It was real to me. But then they find that one thing leads to another. Then they get what was it? I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, I keep mentioning this. The more action scenes with the Taskmaster, when they're given a car chase and they're driving one car and she used spoilers that the Taskmaster is actually a female, because even though when they do the reveal of the face, it's a female, but for most of the part of the entire movie when it shows Taskmaster fully masked up and all that stuff, you can see it's a guy, but technically it's a girl because when they take off the mask. But it's like she uses a Hawkeye arrow. She shoots an explosive arrow. It flips the car over and sends it all the way down to the stairway that leads to the subway. And they're perfectly fine as well. Like all the action in this film just is all bland and boring. I just found nothing special about it. Nothing. And then the team comes. They captured Black Widow or Rachel Weisz, and thinking that Rachel Weisz turned them in, but they know what it turned out it wasn't. And then they get brought to this fortress in the air. That's where Ray Winstone is. It turns out that the Taskmaster is really his daughter, because there was an earlier mission in order to get into S.H.I.E.L.D. when Natasha says she wanted to get out of this and go to S.H.I.E.L.D. She was tested to do this assassination on Ray Winstone, and by using his daughter as bait to get to him. And they said that the explosive, supposedly they killed them both though, but they said, did you see the bodies? Did you check for the bodies? But she didn't. So great job. In order to, if you don't know how he could be still alive and all that stuff, well, you should have checked the bodies in the first place after you exploded that building with them, both of them in it. Using a girl too to get to the father, Ray Winstone. So like, great job, Natasha. You get into S.H.I.E.L.D. by doing such a shit job. So, but the girl daughter was still alive, and that's how she became Taskmaster, because the dad was still alive, and even though she didn't bother checking to see if he was dead or not. And then when she gets brought to Scarlett Johansson gets brought to Ray Winstone, is it just, I don't know, it seems to me that he was like, with the way he was talking, it seemed like he was just out of it. He's like, I was like, I'm doing stuff, but just the way he talks this way, it sounded like he was out of it. Like he was like not all there. But the mind controlling thing is the pheromones, because when she gets the near up to smell him, they get controlled. I'm like, what is this? This guy has a smell fetish thing? But you want to get brainwashed? Just come near me and smell the fragrance or whatever. I'm like, I don't know what I can say about that. I have nothing to say about that. Oh, the scent that I'm giving off, it makes you brainwashed. And then, but that's how it is. But Scarlett Johansson decides to, like, bust her own nose up on purpose. I mean, does breaking your own nose work like that? I mean, if you break your own nose, can you just like still smell, or what, does someone just break the circulation so you can't breathe through your nose? I don't know how that works, but it sounds so stupid though. Oh, but if I can't smell myself, if I can't smell, maybe I'll just bust my own nose. And it works, I guess, because she can't. Jeez. But somehow it works. Then a whole bunch of Black Widows come in. Well, but not before she hits some buttons to like show where all the other remaining Black Widows are brainwashed over the world, I guess. And they use the vials. You know what's funny? This younger sister does most of the stuff that Natasha should have been doing. She does literally more than Black Widow herself. Natasha herself. I'm like, she's going to use most of the vials to brainwash the whole rest of the army of Black Widows, and she takes out Ray Winstone herself. She jumps on or they're escaping in a helicopter. She like uses a sword or whatever to destroy one of the engines, cause him to explode, killing him. I'm like, this is. She didn't take out. I don't recall if she take out Taskmaster except for using the bottle to unbrainwash her too. So for the most part, the younger sister did most of the things that Natasha should have been doing. I'm like, the younger sister does more than Black Widow in her own movie. Sad as that. So yeah, so she basically unbrainwashes all the remaining Black Widow girls, takes out Ray Winstone. The whole place is falling down. Red Guardian doesn't do much anything, except he gets his ass kicked by Taskmaster. David Harbour is just horrible. I was not a fan of this guy, especially from what I saw from 2019 Hellboy. I know I keep saying Stranger Things, but I don't care for seeing Stranger Things. So, but David Harbour, I'm not really a fan of. From this and this, no. Rachel Weisz, I like her as an actress, but I didn't care for her character either. Essentially, you made her unlikable when she wants to deliberately kill a pig. Just but he had 10 seconds. So what? You want to do that just for your own amusement? Jeez. But the whole place is collapsing, it's falling down, fighting with Taskmaster in midair and some other guys in midair, but gets defeated. They brainwash her. David Harbour and Rachel Weisz take the Taskmaster and the remaining girls away, and Natasha just waits there for William Hurt to arrive. And then fast forward sometime later when she has the blonde hair, which she had before in Infinity War. She takes a Queen Jet to free or help Captain America free the others from prison. From the raft. And then fast forward to the end credits, after the end credits, which the end credits takes place after Endgame, and then the sister visiting her grave, and it was supposed to be like a good emotional emotional moment because she's visiting her sister's grave, right? And then it gets ruined when Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she's the character we saw in the show of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She's this mysterious woman that ends up recruiting the guy Walker, who was the new Captain America, now becoming the U.S. agent. She's a mysterious woman who's a U.S. agent, but she comes to her grave, blowing her freaking nose so loudly. Oh, that's right. You just ruined her moment. You're visiting. You're letting her sister's. The sister is visiting her other sister's grave, and you still have to ruin the moment by just loudly blowing your noses for us to take as a joke. And then she tells the sister, the younger sister, that she thinks she tells her who's responsible for her death, and shows them that she blames Clint Barton, Hawkeye, for her death, and that's what sets up the show for Hawkeye. That because the sister's going to come back, the same actress is going to come back for the show, and she's going to go after Clint Barton, Hawkeye. She's going to go after Hawkeye. So that's what sets up for the TV show. I'm like, yeah, because I guess she does not know about Clint Barton. Even though there was a scene where after the whole car went downstairs to the subway, they went up inside the ceiling, and she had a little chat with Natasha, and when she mentioned about Clint Barton. I mean, is she's gonna say I don't know. Probably for the whole time she's gonna delude herself thinking that she killed her sister or so. And probably maybe till the end of the show, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do this, you didn't really kill her. I'm like, yeah, it's probably going to go that route. But yeah. Black Widow, like I said, is nothing but a filler movie that just is a pointless movie that contributes nothing to the story except, like I said, to have this character have her own solo film, which didn't work. I mean, it's like same thing with the Harley Quinn movie, Birds of Prey. She's good as a supporting character, but she's not ready to carry her own movie. It's like with Harley Quinn's Birds of Prey. I mean, Margot Robbie, I liked her. I liked her in the first Suicide Squad. She was only positive things I can say about the first Suicide Squad, but I also liked her in the Suicide Squad. She's not going to carry her own solo movie. It just didn't work. Here, same thing. Bad CGI. Honestly, the CGI was not that good. All the fights in this film I did not like. It was just bland, boring, generic fights, and how either Natasha or the sister to get away basically scot-free without not a single scratch on them. Like I said, John Wick, he takes a whole freaking bunch of beatings. You know, he gets stabbed, he gets his finger cut off, and like I said, even though he got off a freaking roof, but he didn't get away standing up and brushing off like it was nothing. No. He hit the ground so hard, he couldn't move that much. He had to be carted to bring it to Lawrence Fishburne at the end of the third film. When you look at his face, you see how badly battered up he is. But Scarlett Johansson, when she falls off, boom, just gets away. Like it was nothing. She's not a super soldier. She's not nothing. She's just a human, like John Wick is. Honestly, John Wick would just beat the... Honestly, I would say Keanu Reeves' John Wick would beat the crap out of this Black Widow. Headshot, boom. There you go. Yeah, he does hand-to-hand combat sometimes, but he just relies on... That's what I think. I think John Wick would beat the crap out of this Black Widow. You know, from one assassin to another, you can say. So yeah. Yeah, this film, I hated this movie. Yeah, this would be a top list of worst films this year. It was just one of the most typical, generic Marvel movies I've ever watched. One of the most bland, boring, generic Marvel films I've watched. What I say is this the worst MCU movie? Probably say that of the MCU movies, Captain Marvel I say is worse. Thor: The Dark World is probably worse. Iron Man 3. I mean, Black Panther I did not like at all. I mean, Chadwick Boseman was good acting wise, but I didn't care for Black Panther at all. When I say that the two Infinity War and Endgame were better than this movie, yeah, I'll probably say that. Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, I would probably say I put above Black Widow, but I ain't saying much because I overall was not really fans of those either. I know my brother thinks I'm insane too, so it's just it's just probably just me. I'm just getting burned out on Marvel films now. Like I said, the DC films I've been liking, like I said, Shazam, Joker, and The Suicide Squad. So I did not like Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. I did not like that movie though. Did not need to be freaking 4 hours long. But I can say that though. Yeah, so I did not like Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. But this film, typical villain, generic villain. I mean, Ray Winstone I don't mind though, but like I said, the way he was talking is like, it was like he seemed like he was freaking out of it. David Harbour I did not like. The younger sister I didn't care for either. I basically didn't care for anybody in this movie. Nobody. Not the action, the CGI, no. Score I didn't care about. I mean, the song, like, the only thing I get positive was the songs that I heard that surprised me. I was surprised to hear American Pie in this, and then that song It Smells Like Teen Spirit. And the credits. It was like, kind of cool looking for the end credits to go, But other than that, I got nothing else to say. That the film was just a bland, boring, generic, over 2 hours long, because every superhero film has to be over 2 hours long now. Come on. Getting tired of every superhero film getting over 2 hours long. That's what a lot of times makes it so slow and dull and boring. I mean, the Suicide Squad was... I mean, the Suicide Squad, I would say, was a little over 2 hours, but it didn't feel boring to me because I was enjoying the interaction with the characters. Some of the action I enjoyed more. Those characters I like. I mean, King Shark would kill everybody in this movie. Eat people whole, or tearing people in half. Yeah. Which King Shark just ripped everybody in half in this movie. Num num. But yeah, it's definitely more. What I say is worse than Jungle Cruise, or what was the other one I did not like? I just ranted on that not long ago. Oh, probably will say it was worse than Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know. Hopefully by the end of the year I'll have my minds made when I get through the list. But it's definitely on my list of worst this year. I hated this film. The score. I mean, the director of this film. She sounds like she's a first-time director. Cate Shortland. It does. If she's a first-time director, it definitely shows. Well, goes elite. What is this? A sexist thing? A female director directing a female lead movie? No, it's not. I'm not saying that at all. It's just like if she's a first-time director, it just shows that she's a first-time director. It just shows it. Nothing to do with sexism. No, it doesn't. It just is a black widow is not capable of carrying her own movie. But hey, all this, in my opinion, if you like the Black Widow movie, that's fine. Like, as I said before, if you rant on a movie, if you like the film, that's fine. It's just my own opinion. And in my opinion, this film sucks. And it's just, after seeing this, I probably would not even care to see Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, or The Eternals. Oh, my brother is excited for The Eternals because he got excited when he saw the Celestials. When he saw Arshim the Judge. The Celestial Arshim the Judge. He got so excited when he saw that. So... And then I already gave my thoughts on the teaser from Spider-Man with No Way Home, so... I'm just probably just getting burned out on Marvel films, of the MCU, These things just although it was kind of a break from last year, you can say, though, but... They just need to stop making movies for a while, but the thing is that they already have their Phase 4 set in date, so they can't take a break, so... Yeah, but everything I said about this movie, I did not like, except for the 2 songs. Sadly. Yeah, but as I said, if you like Black Widow, that's fine. Like I said, I hold nothing against anybody who likes this film, but in my opinion, this film sucks. That's how it is. Yeah, like I said, it's all subjective, but in my opinion. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next movie review and more videos. Later.